Architecture is the art and science of making cities and buildings fit with the lifestyles of its citizens. Local culture, patterns of contemporary life, and the ebbs and flows of the global economy all need to be considered when designing a building. Bjarke Ingels is widely considered to be one of the most inspirational architects in modern time. An information driven design approach is the force behind his new startup, Neighbor, which tackles the global housing crisis. So, Bjarke, how are you attempting to address the systemic failures in the housing system?
We intend to use the power of technology and productization to try to bring innovation at scale to the places we live. The things we make many of, like phones or cars or washing machines, they become better and better and better, like higher and higher quality, and even sometimes at a lower and lower cost. But the opposite seems to be true in housing. So we thought, what if we actually borrow this idea of the loft as a 100-year building and create a basic framework that means that we can invest more in making it out of the most sustainable materials. So we're making it out of hybrid timber. We can make the facades a sophisticated product called View Glass. That is a glass that can change its transparency. So instead of spending all your energy on air conditioning, the glass simply becomes more and more opaque, like a pair of sunglasses when there's a lot of sun. And then when you need the sun in the winter, it becomes incredibly transparent. All of this just to say that we are simply taking what's available in terms of technology, what's available in terms of sustainable products that you can implement into a building, and making them available through the power of productization.
You're working with Toyota on the Woven City. What is the vision for this project?
Toyota, they used to be a loom manufacturer more than 100 years ago. And then because they were very good at making large, complex machines, when the motor vehicle came around, they were somehow capable of handling that, and they became the largest automaker in the world. They had realized that times were changing again, and they had to become an urban mobility company. So they invited us to design with them or imagine with them a city or a neighborhood at the base of Mount Fuji where they could test the systemic interplay or the kind of holistic ecosystem of different forms of mobility, also different forms of energy. And one of the things we came up with, and hence the name The Woven City, is a city grid where every third street is for autonomous vehicles and pedestrians. Every third street is promenades for pedestrians and personal mobility like e-bikes. And every third street is actually a park only for pedestrians. And then we weave those kinds of streets together in both directions. So we're actually taking, let's say, 2/3 of the right of way that is normally completely dominated by cars and giving it up to more interesting forms of city life, but also in more interesting forms of plant and animal life.
You're well known for creating beautiful, sustainable designs on Earth, but my understanding is you also have a love and fascination of space. So I wonder, what have you learned from building and constructing buildings here on Earth that you could possibly take to space when we start to construct cities on other planets?
The project that is probably the most advanced right now is we're working for NASA with a company called Icon on a project called Olympus. And as the name suggests, it's going to be the first permanent settlement for humanity on the moon. And basically, we have to learn how to build with the available resources. We found ice a decade ago. You can actually dig up water ice, and with that, you can get water for drinking and for farming, and you can get hydrogen and oxygen. And then you have an abundance of sunlight. So using the locally available sun, then the last element is the regolith, the moon dust. We can power lasers and turn the moon dust into what you could call a lunar lava or a sort of obsidian. In Game of Thrones, they would call it dragon glass. Because we are operating in such a difficult environment, we will be sending 3D printers that are essentially autonomous robots to the moon, where they will prepare the buildings for when the humans arrive. So in a way, the same technology that will allow us to build the most sort of expensive and difficult buildings on the moon, the same technology at scale can actually be the answer to affordability and homelessness on Earth. And ironically, we're working with the same company, Icon, to provide affordable housing for the homeless in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico.